So entering here is a bit of a puzzle in itself. Most seasoned FPS players will know what to do here, and yeah, just add some dynamic to the world and the level, And also, as you will see soon, I will have barrels that can be shot at, that move around to make it a more dynamic level, and also remove some of the cover-to-cover stationary gameplay, which doesn't fit Unreal that well, and you want to live up to the expectations of your players. So yeah, as you will see now, I will get a checkpoint reached message very soon, and the way I'm doing my checkpoint system is that there's a player start over when you start, obviously, and when you enter a room, I have a trigger that toggles off the main player start and toggles on a player start in this room. So that's how my checkpoint system works, and I also use some custom kismet to show the text message. So I'll show you. Checkpoint reached.
Incoming.
And you also hear the incoming sound here as well, which I have scripted to trigger after you step over the trigger, after like 3 seconds. So in this room there's 2 bots, one on the ground and one on the upper floor. So you can see the cover disappearing as you hide behind it, kind of force the player to move around. And use the environments. So it's really important for these doors to not trigger incorrectly. So I've done a lot of safe proofing on these doors. So if the player walks through them and then walks back again, if he enters again, he will be locked inside here. So if that happens, he can always exit through that door we just came into this room with. But I have also timed it so that when the closing of the door triggers, he won't have time to turn around and walk in again. So I want to show you the other room as well, because if I exit through this door, it will lock behind me and I can't access the other room. So if the player feels like going back and checking out the other room as well before exiting, they're free to do that. But once they go through the door, they will have committed. So just to add some replayability and feeling of choice. So the next room you will see the checkpoint as well, and also a bit more moving AI. See, I'm entering a room behind cover and a bot spawns up here, which I am of course aware of, but other players would be more surprised by this, and this will force them to either move out of cover and down, or just start shooting and being a bit surprised. And I tested on about 15 players, and all of them really appreciated the surprise. So here we have some barrels again, which add more dynamic to the cover-based shooting, but this time, as opposite to the other room, the player is now the one shooting at someone behind the barrel cover. So this bot is is harder to hit because you have to get through the barrels, and you know, he's a bit jumping around. So you know, the player can have some fun shooting barrels and see what it's like to be on the other side. So these two rooms cater to different playing styles. The other one is a bit more cautious. This one is a bit more offensive, and yeah. So it's important for my rooms to have some sort of purpose. The theme here is this is kind of a lower level, like an actual lower level, and you know, this is where the water and you know, the sewage kind of gathers and is transported throughout the level until the last room, which I will talk about later. So the concept is that it's kind of like a breeding facility for robots, as the player will later discover. So these doors are a bit more advanced than the first one. The way these doors work is that I use matinees to make animations, and I will show you for this last door here. This room I'm about to enter now is a arena room, and I really want to prepare the player for that by giving them a rocket launcher, symbolizing that, you know, something big is coming up. So as you can see, this door is now open while this is closed. So what would happen now is, when this one closes, it turns the trigger for closing this door off, which is located here. So this door will remain open, so the player doesn't get locked in. So the matinee is timed in seconds and milliseconds, and slides the doors to the left and right, as I will show you now. And this is done in matinees, which I have spent a lot of time on. So I think the effect is very important here, because it gives a sense of, you know, this is an epic room, and the animation is kind of symbolizing that you enter into something epic and final. So an earlier issue here was that the bots here would already be in the room and start shooting at the player straight away at this point. So what I did, which solved the problem, is that when the player enters, the robots spawn, instead of having the robots already being there. Because what happened was that the player remained outside here and started to get behind cover and go back and start shooting, and that's not what I wanted to happen. I want the player to run in and just evaporate robots with rocket launcher while jumping to health potions and you know, just having an exciting finish instead of going back here and shooting through the door and everything. Another solution would be to have an elevator or something like that, but because of time constraints, I solved the problem by doing it this way. So it's important for me to give audio feedback, so when the robots spawn here, they will say unit in position, which differs from the earlier audio feedback, because this is the final area, so it's a bit more special. And you can see with this piece over here, the whole breeding and sewage things leads up to this room where it's all gathered, and you know, the theme is that this room spawns the robots that will appear as I enter here.
Unit in position.
So the level goes in waves, there's 2 waves. So this spot right here is a bit safe. Therefore I made this bot, you know, go in this place to, you know, kind of pull the player out and get him moving. So yeah, when bots get shut down from these, it's really important that they go up again. So I made a script for that, because else they would be trapped behind here and then the player wouldn't be able to see them. I used a script, or the text I did earlier, for the checkpoint as a sort of way to finish the level off. So that is my my level, called Solus, which by the way means alone in Latin. And I thank you for staying with me for this walkthrough. I hope you have a nice day, and you can catch me on the links you will see on the screen right now. So thank you again for listening, and have a great day.